Good morning. This is Stephen from Street Smart Kids. We have the honor of being in the presence of Mayor Greg Phelps of Courtenay, and we're here today to talk a little bit about crime and juveniles in the Comox Valley. We want to talk a little bit about juvenile crime and how it's affecting Comox Valley, the city of Courtenay, and communities across Canada. What would you say when I ask, how is it affecting you?
Unfortunately, what we're finding is that these types of crimes are very devastating to a community. In a lot of cases, what we are dealing with is people who have volunteered their time to build things like parks, swing sets, those types of things, and then along come a group of people, and in this particular case, vandalizing. That's one of the biggest costs and one of the biggest problems that most communities deal with. There is a real cost to it. In the Comox Valley a couple of years ago, our bill for cleaning up vandalism topped about $100,000 by the time you added in things like RCMP costs and staff costs. So it does have an impact, and we're a small community, so when you start multiplying that into the size of communities like Nanaimo, Vancouver, you get into the Torontos, the Montreals, the Halifaxes, the cost of cleaning up graffiti is a major expense. And then you take things like the usual damage that unfortunately pranksters seem to want to do, trashing garbage cans, breaking trees in parks, vandalizing lawns. You're talking across the country, you're talking millions and millions of dollars. And those aren't my dollars, those are your dollars. Those are tax dollars. So in order to recover the cost of those problems that we have to raise taxes. $100,000 a year in Courtenay for vandalism, that puts our taxes up 1%. So your parents, when you're listening to them talking about how their house taxes are going up, you may have caused that.
What type of crimes do you find that mayors across Canada are dealing with mostly?
I'm going to answer that one just a little tongue-in-cheek. Mayors actually don't do any work. Usually what we do is we delegate, we form committees, and we send it off for somebody else to do the work. And that is basically how it works. Mayors and councils set policies. So what we would do in a case where you have a rash of vandalism, a real problem, our first step would be to contact the RCMP and say to them, we have a problem, get some direction, give some direction to them to help us deal with that. We would also talk with our parks, our public works crews, and get them to deal with that as well. In some cases, we've had cooperation from service clubs who have helped us by doing some fundraising to purchase some cameras to try and crack down on graffiti and vandalism. So the mayor themselves doesn't do an awful lot, council doesn't do an awful lot in that, except provide the direction, or in a lot of cases provide the financial resources for the people who are actually dealing with these problems to go out and tackle them. City of Courtenay, we put in some cameras, and that had a real impact on graffiti because these cameras are portable, and a lot of cities are doing that. So the people who are doing the vandalism and the graffiti don't know when or where these cameras are going to show up. And it's pretty hard when you get to court to say I wasn't doing that when we have very clear footage of somebody actually spray painting or breaking limbs off trees or trashing things. So it's really been successful. But that's as far as the politicians go. I know that the RCMP and some of the groups like our Citizens on Patrol go out and spend a lot of time hiding in the bush at nighttime trying to catch people. You won't find me there. I'll be at home sleeping and thinking about policy.
You're addressing the kids across Canada right now. What would you like to say to them?
First thing I would like to say is that there's no such thing as victimless crime. It seems inconsequential to go and snap a tree in half. It seems inconsequential to spray paint a building. It seems inconsequential to smash a window. But somebody somewhere pays for that. And that person is your parents, because I don't have money. It's not my money I'm dealing with. Mayors across Canada don't have a big piggy bank or money tree that we go to. What we do is we put people's taxes up to pay for damage and vandalism and programs to try and combat these types of things. So in talking to people directly, I say, please have some pride in your community. Have you ever worked on something and been really proud of it? Well, that's kind of how we are with our cities. Most of us are pretty proud of what we've accomplished. And so when somebody comes along and trashes it, it hurts us. It hurts the whole community. It can give a community a black eye right across the country. So again, it's not a victimless crime. Please don't do it.
Mr. Mayor, we really appreciate you coming on Street Smart Kids and talking about crime in our communities and across Canada. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Street Smart Kids of Canada would like to thank the Port Alberni Kinsmen for giving us this opportunity to talk to all the kids across Canada about crime. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.